Once again, it's on, y'all. And we got a double header lined up for y'all tonight. What it do, y'all? This your man, King Eric, and you're now tuned in at Off the Cuff Radio, sponsored by Cocaine Buddy Boy Entertainment, Fleetwood and the Cotton Pickers, Jesse's Boutique, Core Financial, Da Vinci Clothing. I got my co-host T-Max with the facts in the building.
What it do, y'all? Another Friday night, Off the Cuff in the building. We are here. We are live. We are direct. Like King said, we got a double header ready to catch wreck. And King, this is another special show once again because our first guest is the most legendary proportion of prolific MCs representing Dirty Jersey. What it do, y'all? Man, I mean, King, tell them who we got.
Man, let me tell y'all something, man. When it comes to pure hip-hop, representing from Jersey, you can't help but to mention these guys. Part of the Outsidaz, these dudes done carved a lane to where a lot of your favorite MCs had no choice but either get with the get down or they had to soak up that game like a sponge and take their careers further. I'm talking from Eminem, Bizarre, Rod Digger. A lot of spitters came or were influenced by this camp, the Outsidaz. And we have one of the most solid assassins from that camp on with us tonight. Let's all welcome Pace One, y'all.
Yep.
Yeah.
What it do, man? What it do?
What's up, brother?
Yo, I'm just chilling, man. You know what I mean? Out here in Irvington, New Jersey right now. You know what I mean? Sitting on the porch, sipping a Corona. I got to go judge some shows, some MCs in a minute. And just talking to y'all. How y'all doing?
We good, man. Little Pace. You know, you the one-man marathon. It's always running the race further than the foes who try to diss you, man. I mean, dude, you know, one of Jersey's finest. You come from a long line of pedigrees, man, in terms of artistic talent. I mean, Whitney Houston, you know, Naughty by Nature, you know, Queen Latifah. I mean, you know, Apache. I mean, it's like, dude, I mean, there's so many more.
Drive move. You know what I mean? We got to add that up there, 'cause that's a part of hip-hop. That's a hip-hop classic.
Which one I ain't hear that one?
I was going to say, yeah, we also got to add the New Jersey Drive movie soundtrack to it, because, you know, that's a part of the Renaissance of the 90s.
Yeah, that was my joint. Redman and Latifah and all them up there. Yeah, I like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Of course, Elements I'm Among, where, you know, Queen and Red, you know, Where Am I? I mean, yeah, man.
What's going on, man? Yeah. You know, before we go on, we want to let people know that the call number is 516-531-9596. And to keep people going on with who's currently following you and is up to date with you, man, tell us what you got going on lately, man. What you got lined up for the remainder of this fall and this third and fourth quarter.
Okay, right before Christmas, me and my man Young Zee working on an album right now. Outsidaz featuring Young Zee and Pace One. It's called Back to Bars. And we just going to try to, you know, hit y'all with some lyrical miracle and some dope beats.
Man, I mean, look, and it's great, Pace, to hear you know, getting back with Young Zee. Yeah, man, of course, once again, the foes don't want no problems with y'all, man.
What'd you say?
I said, of course, the foes know what you getting back with Young Zee. They don't want no problems.
Yeah, you don't want no problems. I was in that video. I love that song, man. I be trying to get Z to perform it for the people when we do the shows. I'm going to see Young Zee tonight.
That's what it is, man. I mean, so, look, your legendariness in the game, the pedigree of which you come from is already so pronounced. It's so distinguished. And not to mention, of course, Without a Clear War, you know, just one of the classic beats along one of the classic rhymes for all time in the culture, man.
Thank you.
when you first started in this, tell us about how you got started in terms of what influenced you and how you became the living legend that you are today.
Okay, well, let's start from the beginning. When I was a kid, okay, I'm 47 years old now, 47. So when I was a kid, I was 9 years. When I was 9 years old, UTFO came out with Roxanne, Roxanne, and then I liked that. I started writing raps, and then Slick Rick came out with Lottie Dottie and the show, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, and it blew my mind, and I've been writing ever since. And when I was about 17, I met Young Zee, and we started rapping together, and Young Zee got a deal, you know what I'm saying, on A&M Perspective Records, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis label. And that was the door. Kicked it in for us, you know what I mean? He had a deal, and then we met the Fugees. We did the Fugees in 96. We did Cowboys with the Fugees, and they kind of hooked us up. And then I had met Eminem. I met Bizarre first, and then I went out to do some songs with Bizarre, and I met Eminem. And boom, and it's been on ever since, man. And even before that, we met Redman, you know what I mean? So I had a couple older, not older, but acts that were doing it at the time, you know what I'm saying? And then since Z was on Perspective Records, A&M, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis label, since he was on that, he was working with other producers like KRS-One, and he was working with Ski Beats. Ski made Jay-Z's, Dead Presidents, and you know what I'm saying, Who You With, and Streets Is Watching, all of that. And I happened to know, I met him through Z, and then we started making records, and, the rest is history, man, you know what I mean? I got to do I Declare War in 97. I did the Rah Rah with the Outsidaz in 99. You know what I mean? Did a couple records with Rod Digger and Eminem and the Fugees and Red and Meth. You know what I'm saying? Been really blessed, man, and really lucky with what's been going on.
First
now,
off,
how many members of y'all was there? How many members of y'all was it exactly? Like between 15 members?
It was up to 15 members, but it was like 9 people rapping on the mic.
Right.
Right. First off, we got to say, Pace, you being 47 and still being active in the game is a blessing, for your contributions, yes, for the love you have for the culture, man, to, still be doing this at such a high level. And, of course, you said your early influences were UTFO. For those that don't know, that's Untouchable, fourth organization. The history that you gave us, you were right in the middle in terms of when you started this, of that 90s renaissance. Of course, how could I be remiss in mentioning him, which you did, Redman. I mean, you came along in terms of interacting with some of the individuals and being on albums that were going to be culture-defining, artists that were going to be icons, and music that was going to be cultural defining. As you started getting into it in terms of rhyming and whatnot and perfecting your craft, what did you learn about what it took to really, really, really be a polished performer, what it meant to, really have discipline in your writing, what it meant to really, really, really have a understanding of what it was to not just create, but to have timeless music?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was blessed with some really good crew members, people in my crew like Young Zee and Rod Digger. You know what I mean? I had good company coming up. So we were always hard on each other and kind of battling each other, you know what I'm saying, back and forth to see who could say the freshest stuff, who could. And even before that, I grew up around here in Irvington with my homeboy DU from the Outsidaz, and yo, we always been, you know, competitive on the mic, and you know what I'm saying. I try to be a little clever. People were being clever back then. You try to keep up with them or be better. You know, we came up in the era like Roxanne Shante and stuff like that. It was really hard and it was good. You know what I'm saying, and clever, and we just tried to maintain, and by the blessing of the Lord, man, we still here, and you know what I'm saying, we get another shot to try to, you know what I'm saying, change the state of hip hop.
And first of all, I gotta say this, man. In a complimentary, man, I did not know that you were 47 at all. You like you in your 20s, bro. I'm just gotta be complimentary on that.
Oh, thank you. I try to keep, you know what I mean, keep it decent, keep my hair cut, and, you know what I mean, try to, you know what I'm saying, wear something clean, you know what I'm saying, and keep active with the people I'm working with, you know what I'm saying, and keep a visible presence out there for your people, you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm from an era, they promote the crap out of you back then, and, you know, I got $1 million worth of promotion, and I know it's a lot of people still listening and looking and waiting and partying, you know, when they get the chance to, and you know, I'm happy I give them, you know, some music to do that too, you know what I'm saying. That's it.
Now, one thing about it, man, in terms of Jersey, you know, you being an ambassador for the culture, I mean, we got to shout out some of the hoods. We got to shout out Greenville. We got to shout out Journal Square, McGinley. We got to shout out Newark, Patterson, you know, Bayonne, you know, Trenton, you know, the Oranges. You know, one thing about it is that you all, the music that has come out of there, you know, has always been a very street-oriented, very authentic, no-frills type of vibe. You know, one thing about it, you know, y'all names carry a lot of weight. We'll be the first to say it on the show if nobody else does. Jersey has always held it down from the music to the streets. Shout out Sean Hartwell in the E-Port out in Elizabeth, my folk. You know, it's in terms of representing you know, your part of town, representing the city, representing the state. What did that mean to you in terms of as you went further with it in terms of really putting it down?
I'm sorry, you broke up there at the end. What'd you say?
I said, what did it mean in terms of representing where you were from and really representing a state in terms of being an ambassador, letting everybody know Jersey got something to say in a major way?
Well, that's great. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy if I get viewed like that. You know what I'm saying? I just come out and, you know, do what I always done since a kid. So it's not a big deal to me, but I like being appreciated and getting some flowers while I get the chance. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. And it feels great. I saw Queen Latifah the other day. She a few blocks from where I live. She has some family over there, and she came up there, and I got to see her. And when I see like her and like Red and Biz, and you know what I'm saying, R.I.P. You know, it's just crazy. It's just like I understand what people probably think of me because I think of them in that light. You know what I'm saying, and everybody else does too. You know what I'm saying, and I'm happy I get even a little glimpse of that. I'm happy. So thank you.
Yeah, man. And that's part of Vision King, you know, had when he created this show. You know, this is his baby, you know, and this is what we've been blessed to do.
Give people their appreciation, man, because it's a crazy world out here, man. We losing a lot of our legends, and it's like, man, I wanted to create something to give guys that really captivated the culture that type of love. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel the same way. No, I was just going to say I feel the same way.
One thing about it, man, especially, you know, Biz coming from Jersey, too, you know, because a lot of people really don't know the contributions he made in terms of, you know, how much, what did he mean to Jersey in terms of for all of you in terms of when he really started to blow up? Because, of course, he was one, from that 80s era, because you would come along, a few years after, him. But what type of impact did him and Queen have in terms of really laying it down? Of course, Naughty by Nature would come next. What was that era like in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s in terms of really the sound? Because, of course, New York, where it was birthed in the Bronx, then the West Coast, in the 80s, and then, but even then in the 80s and 90s, y'all were coming. What was it like? What was the feel of it like then in terms of just the whole culture, scene of the music?
It was a little surreal, you know what I'm saying? Back then, it was, because I'm a fan of hip-hop. I don't want to be, all laughing on the line and stuff, but I'm a fan of hip-hop, and it makes me feel good, knowing that I'm a part of it. But when I was a kid, like meeting Redman blew my mind, and meeting Queen Latifah and working with the Fugees and seeing the impact they had, you know what I'm saying? It's all surreal, you know what I'm saying? I used to run around with Eminem. I got to meet like Dr. Dre and George Clinton. You know what I mean?
The man puppeteer himself, yes.
It is crazy to me too, so it's just wild, and I'm happy. And when I was a kid, Latifah, she did MTV over here in Irvington High. I went to Irvington High, and just see the high school on TV, like, oh crap, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's going down, and it could happen from here, and just being a part of it is great, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. And another reason why I wanted to bring you on the show is because I did a video about you guys and your influence in the culture a while back. I think it was last year. And you know how we within media, the media like to paint certain pictures, and they want to purposely erase certain parts of history. That's why even when we was talking about Eminem, everybody wanted to run with the narrative that he came on, he was rapping, he came on Aftermath, and he blew. But yet, you guys played a heavy part of that history, so we wanted to bring you on to cover that aspect as well. Because I even noticed, listening to him from Infinite to, I think it was the Shady LP, that the influence around you, him being around you guys, is evident. Like, you guys played a heavy role in him evolving his style.
Thank you. What you want me to speak on that? We build it. I was building on that because that was a part of why we wanted to bring you on. Okay, well, Eminem, to tell you the truth, is like the best technical rapper, man. When it comes to rhyming the last 4 syllables of a sentence, or the last 3 syllables, the last 2 syllables, with the cleverness, the wittiness, and the amount of syllables in there is technically, perfect from where we come from.
Right.
And to be a part of his evolution, I'm just happy to be in there, you know what I'm saying? And me and Z pretty slick on the mic too, so our next record is gonna be pretty heavy. So it's, you know what I mean, it's all good. I love it, you know what I'm saying? We came up on like KRS and like Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap does it, you know what I'm saying? Black Thought, all the good, really good, culturally sound rappers do it, you know what I'm saying? Even Nas. And I think M is technically the best rapper, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to technique and style, I think that style and technique and the cleverness of what he's saying and the subject matter of it and the wordplay of it is on point. You know what I'm saying? From where we started to where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? And we all following the same pursuit of, how good can the craft get? So we all trying to do that. Black Thought, you know what I'm saying? Method Man, Slick Rick, Common. It's a bunch of rappers that's in the pursuit of the same, hip-hop goal, I think. You know what I'm saying? but they might not be. But you know, M is up there. He up there. You know what I'm saying? With the KRSs and the Nas's and the Redmans, the Biggies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I remember that
one
verse.
thing.
That verse that he cut on Dead Wrong. I was like, this. I can't. I was like, shit. That's one of the illest verses I ever heard.
Yeah.
Bananas. And he always do it. You know what I mean? From My Name Is on down. So you know what I'm saying? To what's this? This last album had a joint Tone Deaf. I was digging on that. That shit is fire. Excuse me for cussing. That thing is fire. You know what I mean?
This is off the cuff. My nigga, say what you feel.
Oh.
No, it's off the cuff, man. You can cuss on this.
Okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Ain't cut the check yet.
I know. I know kids be listening too, so you know what I mean. I try to be a little easy, but yeah. When it comes to that hip hop stuff, I think Emma's pretty good, and you know what I'm saying. For our hip hop wave, it's pretty good. It keeps the craft going. It's all good. You know what I mean? He ain't the only one. There's other fresh rappers. T.I. is a fresh rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? Kanye's a fresh rapper. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We just keeping the craft going. Wayne is a crazy rapper. You know what I mean?
You know, when we break it down, Paige.
Wayne be sounding real dope. You know what I mean?
You know, when
and
we
he
break
be killing
down,
them syllables and the punchlines and the bars. He be killing that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of lyrically fresh rappers, and you know, we trying to push it. Salt and pepper, baby.
Yeah. One thing about it, Paige, and what you were saying in terms of how Eminem, because the praise you give him it's deserved. You know, M is one of the most unique talents we have ever seen. You know, we've said this for years by the fact, you know, King and myself, we said it off air, we said it on the air. You know, it don't matter Eminem's white. When you listen to his bar structure, how he counts off his rhymes in terms of how.
Let me tell you this. Can I say something?
Yeah. Please.
Okay, boom. So, all right, it's 1996, right?
Yeah.
It's 1996. I go out to Detroit to see Bazaar, and Bazaar don't tell me he coming with somebody to pick me up, but he tell me when I get to the airport, he like, yo, I'm coming. Me and my homeboy coming right now. So, boom, I'm like, all right, Bazaar coming with somebody. Little white kid walk up like, yo, hi, I'm Marshall. You know what I mean? And then, boom, we start kicking it. We get in this car. He had the Infinite tape already. You know what I'm saying? And I had some, and I had some demo songs of mine. You know what I mean? But Z all over it, and we doing shit with all type of KRS and Busta Rhymes, and it's all type of people on Z thing. So it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We did a song with Red back then, unreleased joint. You know what I mean? It's probably up on YouTube by now, but. You know what I mean? We did an unreleased joint. So I played it for him. Boom. He was like, yo, I'm into that. And anyway, long story short, imagine meeting a white kid. This is when it ain't cool for no white kids to be rapping, yo. There wasn't no white kids rapping. It was Milk Bone. Was the only white kid.
Third base.
Third base. Third base, Milk Bone type shit. They had their own little thing going on, you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? And imagine meeting this kid and then doing this thing and like, yo, I had to bring him into my crew. My crew is gangster niggas. Gangs and gangster niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta bring a little white kid in and say, yo, he rapping with us from now on. And then they was like, Z heard him and Z was like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? Because we had did a demo tape, and I put him on some of my shit and brought it back to the clique, and I was like, listen to this. And when I played it, I ain't telling him he was white. I just played it. And he was like, ooh, that kid kept up with you, Pace. And we was joking about it. I was like, yo, he white. And niggas was like, what? He white? Oh, fuck it. And then we was all like, fuck it. And, yo, he got down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to see that, man, I mean, but when you look at him, of course, for those who don't know, in terms of how M would eventually get on, even, the 97 rap
Eminem
Olympics,
changed the culture, yo. Eminem changed the culture. I don't get to give him his roses, but yo, I be trying to talk about it, but I'm a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm still sensitive of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't rich.
It's okay because
it's a little sensitive for me. You know what I mean? I ain't rich, but anyway, just saying that he changed the culture. He brought white people, gangs of them, millions of white people into hip hop to where, yo, bling bling and all that shit, type shit, yo. Niggas change the culture, like Wayne, they bring white and black people together and we party our asses off to this shit.
and that is beautiful.
That's it.
It's beautiful. Yeah, man. And, in the hundreds of shows, King and myself, of course, shout out to our co-host, a lot of Sandman, Lady Chinchilla, the hundreds of shows we've done, we've always talked about how the culture, is about uniting people. I know we talked about him, and guess what? We're going to talk about him a little bit more because what you said, Paige, in terms of how he contributed to the culture is undeniable. Because he was, a lot of people, one thing I can say about him is him pokes fun at people in terms of when he, gets on, and I mean this all respectfully, when he gets on his silly style, as I call it, when he wants to be a comedian. Because them has never been a person who deliberately wanted to actually, cut people down. Usually he would just make observations and then make comedic references in his rhymes. However, and King knows where I'm going with this, my brother knows where I'm going with this, when there have been those that have been foolish enough to challenge him in terms of trying to call him out, there have been consequences and repercussions.
Yeah, because you got to look at it like those guys, like, when he comes from the Outsidaz, they also battle heavy. Like, at that time period when those brothers was coming out, you had to be tested for battle. It won't that whole ordeal today where you have a hot storm and you get signed just off a high beat. You had to hit the trenches and battle niggas.
Yes. I'm listening. Well, ain't no question in there. No question.
Yeah.
They don't. It's like the face-to-face confrontation. Even if it got to the point where you had to go in different hoods and battle, like it was all about whose crew was the hardest. So that's the kind of like
man.
That's what kind of truthful what it was in 8 Mile. It was about crews. It was about battling who had the best rep and all that stuff.
It still
all
is.
I gotta say, these kids don't know what it was like. It was like a jungle at those times.
I mean, even if you with somebody, you could have came there with your boy and he battling tonight. Yo, if the nigga get ripped, he get ripped. That's it. It's always the freshest rap, man. Always the freshest rap.
Do you think hip-hop, in terms of the music in reference to the elements of battle rap, how do you feel about it today in terms of how it's kind of, because we've seen it from the Rap Olympics, which Eminem was in and lost at the time, but of course, that even then that wasn't the end for him because, of course, everybody who knows his story knows that his tape was passed on to, who was the king? I think Rosenberg that would end up passing it on to Dre. I believe it had it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think Paul Rosenberg, it was passed on to him, and Dre would end up getting it after Rosenberg passed it to him, if I have my history facts right with it. Where do you, and now we've seen, of course, the URL smack battles and all this that has kind of come in terms of the battle rap culture. In your opinion, Paige, how do you feel about it today in terms of the battle rap scene as opposed to how it was back then?
The battle rap scheme now and back then. Okay, now it's without a beat. It's acapella. You loud. You all up in each other's face. It's kind of cool, but until it ain't cool, you know what I mean? but it's still battle of the freshest rap. You know what I mean? I'm still listening for the freshest rap. So it's kind of the same as back in the day. We used to do it on the beat, get the mic, turn it up loud, boom, boom, y'all battling. Now it's, you know, a little bit scream in the face. It's still the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? Even though it's evolved into, like, some kind of spoken word a little bit. Because I don't know if you can spit all of that on the beat correctly. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't about all of that. It's about freshest rap still. So at the end of the day, it's the same, but it's evolved into a little bit more hostile now.
They be all in your face, gun bars, and that's not usually the best atmosphere.
The gun bars it's all entertainment until it ain't.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times too we look at it because you all come from an era of where, you know, it was really about, like you said, the bars. You really had to have the rhyme scheme. You know, you really had to have a conceptualization of what you are articulating at that time. Nowadays, we see a lot of rappers in terms of the battle rap scene. And even when we talk about the actual music now that's being released, there's a lot of theatrics, dramatic, a lot of over-exaggerations with not enough real substance. You know,
T-Mac.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go into that, we want to talk about the Nightlife. That was like y'all. Was that like y'all debut? Y'all first ever joint y'all put together?
Yes, that was our debut EP. Yes.
Yeah,
what was that like going into the studio?
Let us know what it was like putting that together.
How it started to come together.
I like to hear the stories behind like creating those dope albums and EPs.
Okay. The Nightlife EP, a good story. We recorded a lot of it in New York. Back in the day, New York had the good studios, Chung King, Unique. That one that we recorded in, I can't remember that one, but it was a good one. And let's see, some fun facts. The girl who sang Sign of the Power sang Step Into a World for KRS.
Yeah, okay. She sang on that.
Okay. Yeah, she sang on that. We got, that's the EP. I'm sorry. That's the Bricks album, but she sang on the Bricks album. The EP got Eminem on it. We had good times recording it, you know what I mean? Hi, My Name Is had came out. He was already large, you know what I mean? We was doing it. We had a good time. We recorded down the hall from Mobb Deep. Little fun fact. Boom.
Oh, wow. I mean, Pace, we're listening to all of this and just how you have been intertwined with all these, you know, figures. I mean,
my 6 degrees of separation is serious.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
My 6 degrees of separation is serious because then we got started at the beginning. We got Lauryn Hill, Wyclef, Pras, Redman, Eminem, and then we start doing, you know what I mean? What's up, my boy? We start seeing people like Chill Rob G. I still get to hang out with Lakim Shabazz. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Now, when you speak of the Roots, now, of course, you know, when they dropped their first album, Blunted on Reality, in 1994, and, of course, shout out to Lauren, you know, of course, representing Newark, stand up Newark. We see y'all. You know, of course, you know, Boom Bap was the lead single. And the album, you know, it was kind of fluttering around a little bit, like kids were listening, but it hadn't quite caught on until the Nappy Roots remix. Shout out to Salam Remy for that track. And then that's when it really began to take off. Of course, Lauren, you know, back in the day was on Showtime at the Apollo on Amateur Night. Did you all know, with the Fugees, because of course with the score just ended up just becoming this breakthrough monumental masterpiece. But it also showed Lauren really expanded her scope that would set her up for 2 years later when she did the Miseducation album. Did you all know that the Fugees were going to be what they were as a group, and then how Lauren would just take it to a whole nother level?
Well, Miss Hill was always Miss Hill, man. She was always talented. She used to do songs with Z back in the day, besides the Fuji joint, you know what I mean? And, man, I ain't gonna front, man. It's just, I didn't know she was gonna blow the way she did, but she was already in the process of blowing, because by the time we did Cowboys, Nappy Heads was already out, like you said, Vocab, you know what I'm saying? They was already moving, you know what I'm saying? And right now I'm working with with Rough House still. So, you know, we coming back around the corner. You know, I'm going to try to get a joint with Lauren and Clef and Praz, you know what I mean? John Forte, my whole clique, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'm just having fun with it, and everything is okay.
That's dope. I mean, the key called to come back around.
You might nail that Lauren feature, because she was featured on that Nas joint, and she killed it. It just goes to show that.
Yeah, she sounded real good.
When she gets that itch, you just can't leave the game. Even with Andre 3000, he jumped on the Kanye record and killed it. Can't stay away.
It ain't even come out. It made the news. You know what I mean? Like, it just got leaked. Made the news. So, you know, hip-hop is beautiful and big and glorious, and I'm happy to be a part of it, man. Anybody could be a part of it. You just got to be intuitive with the pen, you know what I'm saying, and the pencil, or if you freestyling it in your head, you just got to do it right, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's your opinion of the Versus series that has been going since last year in terms of how that's really benefited the culture, in terms of a lot of the young heads getting a musical education about some of the, you know, our veterans and our legends?
Word. I think the Versus is great, man. It's great to see some of our legends and some of our rare acts, you know, get to flex their skills up on the stage in front of everybody, you know what I'm saying? Globally now, you know what I'm saying? They've already been doing it regionally for years, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like a global thing. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the power of the culture, you know what I'm saying? And I want to see a versus everybody. I want to see Migos and Drake, you know what I'm saying? I want to see all of this. Versus is dope, man. You know what I mean? It's like a battle, but once you keep it civil, everything is good. And you know what I mean? It's a lot to be gained from it. You know what I'm saying? Culturally and globally and even personally, because you look at the locks now. I've been seeing a little extra glow on the locks now when I see them on the internet or something. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? You get to flex what you do for a living.
It's still
you
crazy.
Know what?
I remember
y'all gonna laugh at this one
yeah.
here, but this is one versus that I want to see. Everybody want to talk shit, but they gonna tune in. I want to see Britney versus Christina.
Oh, that would be dope. That would be dope. That would be dope.
I'm like, everybody
yeah.
that. I'm like, I posted it on Facebook right there. I'm like, y'all gonna tune in.
I'd like to see like I'd like to see a KRS verse like Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? One of them two Bronx boys that be setting it off. You know what I mean? I'd like to see something like that go down. You know what I mean? KRS was just down here for 24 hours apiece in Newark on Broad Street and Market the other day. Jadakiss was down there, Beanie Siegel, Freeway. You know what I'm saying? So, man, the culture is alive, and they love their heroes, man. They love their heroes.
That's a beautiful thing.
That it is. To really see all of it move, you know, of course. One thing I remember when King put it up on his page, and they talked about Jadakiss in terms of, like, his streams went up 200%, and, like, 5 of his projects hit the Apple top, I think, 200, you know, in terms of it. You know, so it's like, you know, we're all older. You know, King's 37, I'm 43. You know, and this is like, you know, everybody, you know, we're telling everybody, we were just the guys standing around, just to, like, we did a corner, we're just like nodding our head, like, told you so. Like, y'all forgot, like, what these guys really, like, what Jada, you know, is in terms of the terrorist on the microphone. I'm like, we've been knowing this for years how nice Jada is. Styles and she, you know, all three of them, you know. So I really thought it was dope that everybody really understands. Because at the end of the day, it's not about beefing with somebody, which the Versus is not. It's about everybody getting to showcase everything that they've done. By the way,
that's right.
By the way, I'm Team Christina all day in terms of Christina versus Britney. I mean, for those that don't know, Christina Aguilera is
Versus is ready for TV. I'm surprised that they ain't made the move to TV yet. Because Revolt or something will show that. You know what I mean? So they gonna make the move to TV soon. If I got any precognition at all. You know
I believe
it's a good thing. Is the legends come in battle, the epic groups come in battle, the rare groups come in battle. That's dope.
I think the only logistic pace with TV is that you have to have TV. If they're going to make it a daily, it has to be something where it could be a weekly. The Versus is a very kind of planned out / spontaneous affair because it's, you know, it's one of those things where they talk to people behind the scenes. This is why we don't get it all the time, because it's about making sure that they get the right mix in terms of who's coming together. Like recently, they just announced Ja Rule, you know, versus Fat Joe. If King can correct me if I'm wrong, I think they had actually approached 50 about doing the versus with Ja Rule. You know, but 50 didn't want to do it. You know, so there's a lot of logistics to go into it.
I got another question that was shot to me from thecollie.com. A guy goes by the name of Tada. He wants to know if, based off the streaming, do you still eat off the Rah Rah single?
Hello?
We're here.
Hey, you there?
Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm sorry about that, man. That was Young Zee calling me. We're doing an event tonight down in East Orange. This is called Top Mics, and we're doing that. We're judging some groups, like we was just talking about, like a versus going down here, but for like a talent showcase, the young and up and coming.
Yeah, tell Z we said what up at Off the Cuff Radio, man. He laughs at a lot of the stuff I be posting, man. So you know we always got to keep that family energy there.
Yes.
But I had a question submitted to you. It was from this guy that go by the name of Tide. He wanted to know if, based off streaming, do you guys still eat off the Rah Rah single that dropped in 2000?
Off the Rah Rah, I don't know about the Rah Rah. I see it on my publisher statement every now and then, but most of my streams come from I Declare War. It got a new million streams this year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with that, and you know, just keep going.
They hit an extra milli.
Yes, it hit the mill again.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you. It's tough, man, because you know what I'm saying. People mess with the music. People fuck with me, but you know what I'm saying. It's also a lot of other stuff going on, and people got their lives, and you know what I'm saying. So it's tough out here, but we still striving to make it happen. And luckily, DMX sampled that song I used for I Declare War, Shady Blues, by the Mason Lee Orchestra. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, luckily that came out, and it busted my spins right on up. You know what I'm saying? Every time a MC uses it, I get, you know, a little bit of love from it. My own song starts streaming again. You know what I'm saying?
How does
I
it
remember
feel
50
knowing
even
that?
using it for Southside too. I remember that.
Who?
I remember 50 using it for Southside.
Yeah, 50 used it for Southside. Asher Roth used it. Sean P used it for Figure 4. A bunch of people used it, man. Like, yo, every time somebody used it, they be like, Pace, they used the joint. And, yo, my song starts streaming again, so hard. So thank you for that. And you know what I'm saying? Keep me in y'all mixes and y'all prayers, man. And this album that I'm doing with Z, I'm really trying to impress all of my hip-hop fans. So, no, I'm not even messing around. I'm, like, really bringing the bars, bro. Every sentence is a bar, bro. Every time you can count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bar, bro. It's mad card. I think that's it right there. I bet. So, yo, man, I'm going in to judge the showcase, man. It was great being with y'all tonight, man. Thank you so much for having me, man.
No, you're very welcome. No, you're welcome back anytime. Thank you, Pace.
All right. Now, if y'all want to get back at me, you know how to do it. And to all the hip hoppers out there listening to this is the real, this is the good radio you're supposed to be listening to, baby. Pace One, Outsidaz all day. Watch for the album, Back to Bars. Me and Young Zee, we coming, baby. We're gonna give it all we got.
Off the Cuff Radio has been stamped by the legend himself. Better recognize, y'all. He said it. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
100.
All right, peace. 100, man. Be
all right,
blessed.
bro.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Love y'all, man. God bless you, man. Peace.
Love you
All
back,
right,
man.
man.
Be safe.